Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Getting Hammered. This one, an Easter weekend edition. My co-host, Vic Mattis of the Washington Free Beacon, has his seasonal blazer on. How nice. I just have a green shirt that says Durham, so sorry, I didn't get the memo. We are doing a special episode today of Getting Hammered. We are your morning show for any hour, and today, this morning, we will be eating a bunch of Peeps. Because y'all love a taste test episode, and so do we. Yep. Even if it's going to interfere with various medical maladies.
No, I have my insulin shot. My insulin shot is right here next to the chair. I'm ready to go.
So today we're going to do a Peeps taste test, and I'm just going to run through the flavors we have. Okay. Also, I don't like Peeps, but I will do this for you, right? Yep. Just like the eggnog. I am willing to go there. Mm-hmm. Okay. We have cotton candy Peeps. Mm-hmm. We have chocolate pudding Peeps. We have traditional yellow.
Yeah.
Rice Krispie treat Peeps. What's under there? Party cake Peeps. And what do you have over there, Vic?
We have Breyer's trademarked cookies and cream Peeps. In case you're thinking, oh, I hope it's not 80s. No, it's Breyer's. And then lastly, Dr. Pepper Peeps.
Yep. Look, as I have said, the flavor scientists are both a scourge and an accomplishment in this country.
They've done many things.
They do many things. I'm not sure all of them are good. And today we're going to find out which ones are bad.
And Mary Katharine, you also have us eating it paired. It's paired with a drink.
I picked out a canned cocktail for us because I felt that maybe we needed a little something.
There's a question. What do you pair with a Peep, right?
Well, I wasn't sure, so I went looking and I found this product, which is a canned cocktail called Two Chicks, which I thought was, not branded to you and me, but to the Peeps themselves.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here.
To the Peeps themselves, it is a sparkling vodka fizz, and it has flavors of elderflower and pear. So floral, springy. The can is very Eastery.
Yes, it looks lovely.
If my family ended up looking like this can in its Easter ensemble, I would be a happy mother. Okay. So
it's a product of Canada. So these two cans cost $30.
Oh no! What have we done? So for this cocktail, I have decided. Look, let's be serious. I was too lazy to make Peep simple syrup and make us a real cocktail. So I bought this cocktail
because
that I can just float a Peep in it and be like, look how festive. Would you like a Peep?
I would love it. Here we are going to get started here. People have actually.
I'm going to videotape myself putting it in there for content, guys. Are you ready? Okay, Vic, would you like to place yours in your cocktail?
Here we go. Go for a little because you think it's going to... Wow, it floats. Of course it floats. It's mostly air.
That was off mic. I'm sorry. I said, go for a little swim to the Peep.
People, if you go on the internet,
I've had nothing to drink yet. Unbelievable.
I know. People will infuse their Peeps with vodka or vodka infused with Peeps.
Right.
You'll see that. People put it in jars.
That's a thing that people do.
It's a thing that people do.
Did I think ahead and do that? No, I didn't. So we're doing this.
So here we go. Mary Katharine, happy Easter.
Hey, cheers to you, my friend. All right. That's not terrible. Possibly because I didn't infuse it with anything.
That is delicious.
It's actually very good.
This is the best thing I've ever drunk since Bartles and James.
It does have. This is the
it's
thing.
A wine cooler, people.
All canned cocktails are rebranded Bartles and James.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you want to keep in mind with these particular canned cocktails, it's primarily alcohol and it's sugar, which are two things that do not at all trigger gout. Just want to mention that.
Can I say that Bartles and James, if it's still a going concern, it used to be the old guys sitting on the porch.
Yeah, the old guys sitting on the porch. Yeah.
Very appealing. I love a porch life. Yeah. In fact, I think we're going to talk about the Masters at some point during this springy themed Getting Hammered. But Bartles and James is for the ladies, right? So I think now let's have some middle-aged ladies on the porch in their rocking chairs.
In terms of the target audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am happy to be that middle-aged lady for Bartles and James.
I thought for me, it would have been high schoolers.
Fair enough.
From what I've heard. Only from what I've heard. Mary Katharine, I do need to have an extra Peep now because I'm going to eat the Peep as a sort of as a primer.
Control Peep.
I'm doing a control Peep. So here's one for you.
Okay, thank you.
And then here's one for me.
I do not like Peeps.
Now, people are wondering. Some people might be wondering. What are Peeps, right? and you'll be happy to know I have the ingredients right here, which is sugar, corn syrup, gelatin, and carnauba wax.
I mean, it sounds pretty clean to me.
Yeah,
honestly.
And here's the good news: 5 Peeps is 140 calories. So just a little info. And go ahead, take a bite.
Okay, here we go. Yellow, original chick shaped peep.
This is very interesting. I wanted to see how you would eat the peep because polls show majority of Americans will eat the head first.
Wow. Well, I am not in the majority.
You know what?
I've always been a contrarian, guys.
You have been. You're a peep minority.
That's because I want to put him here and look at his little face after I mangled him.
Now I just got like the cadaver. It just fell on the floor.
It's hard to say which one
Sorry,
is
it's very sticky. It's very sticky.
Yes.
You know what? It's funny because we haven't eaten, and I'm like suddenly
this could go south fast. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, but with that and the alcohol, number one, number two, because of that, everything tastes better when you're starving. It's like when you're really hungry and you go to a great restaurant. Inevitably, the best part of that meal you will remember is the appetizer. It's like, oh my gosh, it's the most amazing whatever, tuna tartare, whatever it is. And then by the time you get to the main course, it's like,
Yeah, no, you got to be careful with the pairings.
Yes.
Because you'll get very sloshed by the time that last course comes around and not tasting everything. Can I tell a real quick story?
Please.
I know you have some info on
I do, in
Peeps,
case
and I
people
want to
are
hear
wondering.
it.
But this is the most, I feel like this is the most ridiculously Easter thing I'm doing right now with.
I love it. It's really, it's giving Easter, as the kids say.
We give what the listeners want.
Okay. So for those, I don't know if it depends on how long you have been following my career, whether you know about my history with Peeps, which is they've never been good to me as a food or candy, as a confection, but they have been good for my career.
Do tell.
So way back in 2006 and 2007, when YouTube had just become a thing, I had a job at Town Hall at the time. And one of the things I did, because I was just a young person who could goof off on the internet and see what happened in the early days of the internet, is that I made online video. And it was very, very arduous. In fact, when I make video now, and it's so much easier, it actually makes me angry because I spent so many hours making terrible looking video at the beginning of my career. But it was good for my career because, again, that was the early days of the internet and politics. You could kind of do whatever you wanted to.
Compared to what, right?
Right.
I mean, because what else is out there?
And this was like brand new, that you could host video on a channel where people could watch it. So in those olden days, I had to come up with ideas for what to put on my channel. And once a week, I had to come up with an idea, and then I would produce a video that was like a couple minutes long. They were parody commercials. They were silly.
I remember.
So one week, I wasn't sure what to do, and I came up with the idea, The Weekend Peeps. By the way, this show was called Ham Nation.
Ham Nation.
And it was around Easter time, and I saw these ridiculous Peeps at the grocery store, and I was
Sounds like a Fox special.
I was like, we could do something with that. So I dressed up a bunch of Peeps in costumes and filmed them and put captions under them about the news events of the week. And just to give you some context, that very first episode, which I believe like has hundreds of thousands of views. It's not it's not super viral, but at the time, that was a lot of views.
You have to share the link again because you're going to see a huge boost.
We can see everybody watch it. But anyway, I do the Weekend Peeps, and it's like a minute 30 video. It gets a lot of views, and then I became like weirdly branded with Peeps forevermore. So people will send me Peeps. They will send me Peeps news. And again, I've never liked them, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I once won an award for this show. And one of my entries was the Weekend Peeps, this very silly video in which, by the way, one of the Peeps is dressed up as Snoop Dogg and has a little tiny blunt that I light in the video.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not going to say that I was an innovator, but I think I got the
Yeah.
early internet pretty good.
You would have won, like, it's like the Washington Post dioramas for the Peeps contest.
Well,
You
and
won that.
Actually, what it should be is one of the great regrets of my career that I did not enter and win the Peeps diorama contest.
They were
'cause-
always very clever, and they would always run them in the Washington Post magazine, which I don't think exists anymore. Alas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so now people can go find that. We can add the link. And
Gotta send the link.
I don't know. Probably I'll get canceled over it or something. Probably. Who knows what's in there? It was 2007.
It was a simpler time.
It was. It was back when what's his face? Who was the mean?
George W. Bush.
No.
Oh. What's his face was president. Yeah.
Also, there's a shot of me at the end of the video looking like a teenager. Who was the mean radio host? Imus. Back when,
yeah, Don
remember when
Imus.
Imus called the basketball team hose?
Oh yes, Nappy.
That was the
Nappy
week.
used the
That
word
was the
nappy.
week of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hose the news
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah. That's right. Out of control.
That's what I used. That's what got me here, folks.
That's right. That's right. All right. So,
Will you tell me about Peeps while we break out these cotton candy Peeps?
in case you're wondering why Peeps and Easter, it's become a thing. The amazing thing is, we apparently consume 700 million Peeps during Easter alone.
Wow.
Half of those Peeps will be consumed on the show, by the way. They've been around since the early 1940s. It was a company out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I believe it's Lancaster.
Lancaster? Yeah. Oh, Lancaster. Yeah, as opposed to Reading.
I've had to speak in Lancaster before, and I tried to say it
and
like the locals do.
And it was the Rada company, but they were struggling. And another company, the Bourne Company, which was founded by Sam Bourne, a Russian emigre from the early 1900s, 1920s. They were in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So they bought it and took over this Peep operation. The original Peeps, apparently in the 1940s, to make one tray, it was like 27 hours.
Wow.
And then when...
Not worth it.
Not worth it. And then Sam Bourne comes in and develops this machine called the Depositor, and it's like, rows of Peeps, and it was like 6 minutes.
Wow.
And that
if you've
changed
ever tried to make homemade marshmallow,
Oh, yeah.
which is a thing you can do, there are recipes for it online, you will understand why it was 27 hours. 'Cause it's real hard to get that correct.
Is it just because it takes long to cook, or you just...
I think it's just because I'm doing it wrong. But,
What I didn't know is that original marshmallow came from a marshmallow plant.
Oh.
Yeah, weird. That is native to Germany and parts
think
of the United States.
Vaguely, I have heard that before, but thought it must be not true because really, there's a marshmallow plant?
There's also a nougat and caramel plant. No, I'm just kidding about that one.
There's a crackle plant?
Yeah, there's a crack. Okay.
For real, if you look online, there is a loofah plant, and that is exciting to watch them harvest that. Have you guys ever seen that?
You mean the kind that you would use to
They
scrub
just
yourself?
open this piece of fruit-looking thing, and they peel off the outsides, and there's a loofah inside just hanging out in there. Yeah, it's a real thing. Now, Peeps do not come like that. Marshmallows don't come like that.
Can I bring this up?
Yes.
And if not, then we can delete it. Do you remember during the when Bill O'Reilly
exactly
was
what you're talking
Bill
about, yes.
O'Reilly the loofah?
Uh-huh.
And
The falafel, I believe. Is
yes,
the term that he
exactly. Well,
used.
thank you. That's the story. Our listener was like, "Hey, what? You just jumped the gun. What are you talking about over here?" What he was harassing this worker, and what he wanted to say is, "I'd like to use a loofah on you," but he forgot the word, and he said a falafel.
Falafel.
Which actually, you know what? I would find that enticing.
It's a different kind of sexy.
Yes. No, I
yes.
mean, I was suddenly curious.
All falafel, such uses should be consensual. So be careful for that. All right. Vic.
How we got there from? Oh, yes. Okay, what do
You
we
can
have
either
here?
have the Peep that's been sitting in my hand or the one on my computer. Which one would you like? Or I
the
can get you a
one-
fresh one.
No, I'll take either one. Okay, the computer one, great, with all the metals and microplastics on it that absorb. Okay, what kind is this?
This is cotton candy.
This is a cotton
Which,
candy.
Like that seems not much of a stretch, right? It's
Yeah,
it
no.
is just
It's a
whipped
logical
sugar on
jump.
both
It's a
cases.
logical jump. I have to tell you, as a person who's not a Peeps fan, these are so delicious. Maybe because I'm starving. I didn't have breakfast.
I like this better than the original.
So do I.
It actually does taste more like cotton
I am
candy than the
now
original,
arranging them
which
that
I did
way.
not expect.
My, and they're very sticky. My Peeps are beginning to look like little Dutch shoes.
And mine just look like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes.
Handicapped Peeps. Okay.
Apparently, the Rhoda company now produces 2 billion Peeps a year, and You will not be surprised. Literally on brand. Rhoda also makes Mike and Ike's hot tamales and Goldenberg's peanut chews.
Oh, okay.
there you
That all tracks.
That all tracks,
That all
right?
tracks. Okay, we have chocolate pudding Peeps next, and these are rabbit shaped. Now, when I used to make the very important production, the Weekend Peeps, I did use both Peeps and rabbit shaped.
Oh, yes, of course, because the rabbit is the thing now. It's not just the chicks.
I didn't discriminate, you know? Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Hi, everyone. And here is cotton candy.
I have to say, it smells nice.
They do.
It smells like cocoa.
Cotton candy tasted like cotton candy. It's also really pretty. Let me say, if you're not watching the video, the cotton candy Peep is pink with blue speckles
very nice.
on
It's got a little speckles
It's
on it.
adorable.
It is.
You could, ooh, that would be nice at a baby shower or gender reveal. Okay,
Here we go, shall we?
here we have. All right. Oh, I was gonna go a different way on this one.
Yeah.
The head's coming off.
I just bit the ears. You know what's interesting about Peeps? Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tie.
There's a specific chocolate that this tastes like, and I can't figure out what it is. It's not.
I'll tell you what it
necessarily
is.
chocolate
It is the
pudding.
marshmallow that you will get in Count Chocula.
No, but okay. So here's the interesting
That's
thing.
the same flavor.
I would prefer a marshmallow from Count Chocula. I'm on the other end of marshmallow preferences. I want dehydrated. I don't want puffed up like
it's
this.
too spongy. Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because when you put the Peep in your mouth, you feel the chemical reaction happening, and there's all sorts of. It's not like Pop Rocks, but kind of. If that makes any sense. There is a contest for how many Peeps you can eat in 5 minutes. I believe the winner, the record holder to this day, is from 2017, Matt Stoney, and the answer is 255 Peeps in 5 minutes.
No, thank you.
I imagine Matt Stoney was young, and enjoy it now is all I have to say.
That's a young man's game.
That is a young
Peeps
man.
competitive eating. I
And
would
here's
say
the
all
problem.
competitive eating
You're
goes.
not. It's different than like a wings eating contest where you need to have judges like to determine the. There's no exception. Everything's going in. There's no gristle or bone. The whole
That's
thing.
true.
It's the whole. There's no exceptions. You can't leave anything. You
You
cannot
can leave
anything.
nothing behind.
Nothing behind.
Nothing behind. Okay. I have real quick. I found on a story here.
Yes.
The ingredients are mixed, cooked, and pumped into a mixing kettle. A gelatin solution is added to help the marshmallow keep its shape. The liquid marshmallow is then pumped with compressed air and formed into its final shape. The Peeps then go through a dusting chamber to get coated with a sugar shower. Oh, that's so sweet. Pun intended. A machine adds 2 candy dyes made of a confectioner's glaze. The Peeps are then packed by hand or robot and shipped.
It's not to be confused with chickens, which go through the electrical bath, not the sugar shower. Sorry.
Unused sugar, you'll be glad to hear, is reused for future Peeps.
I'm Mary Catherine. So you mean it's recycled?
I mean, look, if there's a sugar shower, not all of it is sticking on the Peep, right?
Right.
just
So you got to keep on
collect
going.
the-
Yeah.
This is,
That's right.
the Biden years were tough times.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do what you got to do. Are we refilling on drinks? Sure. I guess we are. Okay.
Well, you need to pair it. Okay.
Up next, we have Rice Krispies treat.
Also seems rather logical.
Yeah. I mean, that's a marshmallow-based treat. Here we have Snap, Crackle, and Pop hanging out doing their thing. All right. These are, they didn't get adventurous with the color on these. They're vaguely the color of Rice Krispies, which is not that appetizing a color,
No,
I gotta say.
It's like an off-white. You really need to tune in to see this on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an ivory.
Well-
If you were at a bridal shop, this would be termed an ivory, I think.
So far, I would say
Not great for certain skin tones, including mine.
the feeling and texture of all of these Peeps, the rabbits and the chicks, are all consistently the same, sticky and spongy. But
Spongy with grit, just like
There's some grit.
just like we like them.
and there's some smell. There's a whiff of. It's not as strong as the chocolate one, but you could definitely smell a hint of Rice Krispie.
Oh, I think I might like this one
Okay, here we go.
because I do like Rice Krispie treats a lot.
It's very vague.
Blander than I would have thought.
I'm going to give you my Paul Hollywood British Bake Off analysis. I'm a little disappointed. I expected a little more.
It's a little It smells better than it tastes.
Yeah, it's going at the bottom of the list here.
Yeah, it smells better than it tastes. It has the whiff of Rice Krispie treats, but it doesn't have that satisfying.
That's right. The appearance of it.
Here's one of the problems, I think, with all of this.
Yes.
Is that each of these is purporting to mimic something which the texture is important.
Right.
So we have cotton candy. The texture is the whole game of cotton candy.
No-brainer.
Chocolate pudding. Texture is the whole game. Not really the flavor. Rice Krispie treats. Okay, texture is not the whole game because the flavor is fantastic.
There's got to be some crunch, and there's no crunch.
That's the flavor. That's part of the experience. I think when you take that away, it doesn't succeed.
Can I tell you one quick, since it's our special episode anyway, just sort of random tangents here. My one Rice Krispie tangent. You know, when I used to hang out with the late, great French chef Michel Richard, he loves crunch.
Like you do.
Like I do. Like you all do. You know what I'm talking about. And I was at Citronelle, and he had created his version of a ratatouille, but it was so flat and it's like Jackson Pollock, right? Okay. And he had this thing where he would sprinkle a smattering of puffed rice on top.
Okay.
In the middle of the ratatouille, and it was like paper thin, and it was really great. And he goes, and we just sprinkled some puffed rice on top. And I said, oh, so you have a box of like Rice Krispies, and you just put it on top?
I puffed it by hand.
Yeah, he looked at me with such disgust when I asked him about the Rice Krispies. He just what's wrong with you?
Because Michel Richard was back there.
I didn't know he could puff rice.
Puffing individual.
Yeah, how do you do that? Well, of course he knows how to do that. Okay.
That's how you get a Michelin star.
That's right. Can I ask you?
Puff them up like tires. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's good.
Thanks.
On so many levels.
Oh, by the way, our friend Kristen Soltis Anderson just polled this question. When you hear the word Michelin, what do you think of? And the answer, you'll be in the minority, Vic, is 81% tires, 11% restaurants.
No, I'll give them tires. I'll still give them tires.
It took me a long time to figure out it was the same entity. I did not put that together.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's all about is it worth the travel?
So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Michelin tires
worth the trip.
Started ranking restaurants, and now it's the most prestigious. The Beard Awards, I guess, are another one, but Michelin stars are the hugest deal in the restaurant world.
Gold Meal is another one. I'm terrible at my pronunciations here.
But yeah, they created them apparently as a way to say, like, you should travel to these restaurants to put wear on your tires and then come back to Michelin.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
That's right.
I didn't mean to steal your restaurant trivia there.
Not at all.
The Michelin Man, by the way, reminiscent of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and we've come full circle.
Not unrelated.
Yeah.
Not unrelated.
Okay.
Did you have thoughts, by the way? Okay, we want to move on to the next one.
What do I have thoughts on?
Trump's health report card. Now, he's sharing everything now. He's sharing, because we're talking about what we're eating here, and then suddenly Trump comes back, and apparently he is healthier now than he was 4 years ago.
Is he?
Yes, his LDL is very low. He weighs less. He's going to be around for a long time.
There are truthers on his weight. I think it's listed in the 220s.
Yeah, I imagine he weighs more, but maybe.
How tall is he? 6'3" or so.
He's a very tall guy.
He's a tall dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see him being 225, but depends on the composition, you know.
That's right. But I think at the end of the day, nothing beats good genes. Because if he really is, and I do believe that he doesn't have he's not a health nut.
Oh,
but,
not.
But like Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, they loved bad food, and they had to change their ways.
Yeah.
Clinton more so.
Trump probably won't. Okay.
No.
Won't need to is what I mean.
He doesn't have to.
Okay.
He's like Benjamin Button. It's just getting younger.
We have party cake.
Yeah.
Which is like. This one's also very cute. It's got the off-white color, a little more yellow.
That looks interesting.
But it has
more of an appeal to it.
It has funfetti sprinkles, so it has a nice festive look. Here you go.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, this is cake. What is it? Party cake?
Party cake.
Not to be confused with like a funeral cake. This is a party cake.
I wonder why they didn't just call it birthday cake.
Smells great. Yeah, which is like what you would get for like flavored vodkas.
Oh, it smells good.
It would be like birthday cake.
Yeah, you would pair this with your birthday cake vodka.
Well, maybe it's not a birthday.
Party cake.
Any party, really.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, we're trying.
I would say above Rice Krispies, but that's it. It's not really doing it for me.
Look, I have said The flavor scientists are generally ahead of their time. I'm not sure they've mastered injecting flavor into the Peeps yet, because each one has a little bit.
Yeah.
And the scent is often stronger.
You find yes, the scent, so it's not it's not a strong scent, and it's not a strong flavor, which leads me to believe this is more of a retirement party cake.
Something gentle on the tongue.
Yeah, like you're on a cruise ship.
Yes.
The menu.
You want to be careful
It's
of that.
more on the bland side.
I don't. The health thing, I do think people are funny when they get very truthery about it. And I don't know, maybe
Oh, so what do they say? I mean, no, I hear comedians
they
all the
say,
time.
I don't believe his
lying.
LDL is that old
Yeah.
or that low. I don't believe that his weight is that low. On the cholesterol, a lot of that is hereditary. So it could entirely be possible that his cholesterol
totally
is
true.
not
Yeah,
at all
yeah, yeah.
reflected
Or you can have
in his diet.
You can have really high cholesterol, but the good cholesterol.
Right. That too. So I'm not, as I often say, he'll probably just live forever. I mean, that's his dad did, right?
Yeah, 90s. Fred lived to his 90s.
So.
Okay.
What's up next?
In terms of topic or in terms of Peeps?
Oh, let's do women in space.
Yes. This was a big moment.
This
was a big moment.
This was a big moment. Was a big moment.
It was a big moment because I was on the elevator, and as listeners know, I get my news from Elevator News. And
that's how he studies before he gets here.
That's how he studies before I do like getting hammered. I said, "What's on the Elevator News?" And it was about the Origins space capsule, Blue Origins,
right?
Space capsule, which is Jeff Bezos's, launched into a quick suborbital.
I guess. Yeah.
Basically space, though. They were up there.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was an all-women capsule. You obviously
all
had
famous people, right?
A couple of them you don't know, but they obviously knew what they were doing. So God forbid there'd be an issue. They could handle it. But then you had several famous people.
Yeah, you had Gayle King, Katy Perry, and Lauren Sanchez. So she's the fiance.
Yes, she's the fiance. They got engaged in 2023.
And Gayle King, all leading up to this, has been like, not sure about this, not sure about it. She wasn't into it.
Yes.
Which, with you, Gayle, I also would not be into it.
There are some concerns, but when I was thinking about Lauren Sanchez and Katy Perry, I was not surprised to learn that it was a little bit of a bouncy ride. Thank you. Can I give you the highlights?
Yes. By the way, a New York Post headline: what happens to Botox fillers and implants in space? Experts weigh in, and there's a picture of Sanchez and Blue Origin.
The answer is she's okay.
There were a lot of mean and sexist jokes, and I condemn those.
No,
and also here are some of them.
Yes.
One of them was like, had the countdown clock, and it was like Bezos's Blue Origin makes history after getting 6 women ready in time to leave.
Wow. Wow. I would say regarding Miss Sanchez, they are not jokes. They're compliments.
Indeed. I do kind of think this thing where they're like a historic all-female crew. It's like, okay, well,
it was a ride. They basically went on a ride.
And the ones who are famous paid to go on this trip where they do not have responsibilities. I mean, it's not like they got an aerospace degree and they're like, there are women who have done that. Let's not forget them.
Right. But I'm pretty sure it was a short flight.
Yes.
Up and then down. And again, it's like waiting in line for, one of these rides at Six Flags and then you get there and it's a very short one. It's fun, but it's very short.
Aerospace engineer Aisha Bow.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Katy Perry sang there were a lot of screaming, a lot of giddiness.
That was cute. I think that was cute.
And then
the ladies are re-entering the atmosphere. They're like, oh my God.
It's basically how it sounded like. And she
giggle about that. Don't giggle about Luigi Mangione. I'm happy.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you. Katy Perry sang "What a Wonderful World."
Did she really?
Yeah. At which point, I don't know if I was one of the other people in the capsule, I'd be like, could you just have a moment of quiet to appreciate? But no, she had to sing. And of course, what else did she say, Mary Katharine?
Get a moment. There's 6 women in the capsule. Of course we can't. That's another sexist joke. Okay.
She said, "Oh my goddess."
Oh, good gracious. Oh my Gaia.
Here,
rocket
you need
took-
to pair this with the.
Okay. The rocket took them
Peeps.
past the Kármán line, 62 miles above Earth, which some international aviation and aerospace experts consider the threshold of space, allowing the crew to experience a few minutes of weightlessness
Zero gravity.
before returning safely to Earth in a capsule that employed 3 parachutes as it touched down on the desert floor. And they're all there, very excited.
Did you see Jeff Bezos go to greet his fiancee and do a face plant?
No, did
Yeah.
you really?
On the ground. He tripped. It fell right down.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. A little embarrassing.
That's
it's okay.
It's a good thing he's a bajillionaire. I think he'll be okay.
I do have a quote from Lauren Sanchez to sort of sum up the experience.
Okay.
And she says, like, all I could think about was we're so connected, more connected than you realize, because you just see right here, you see, like, you know, states and all these things that, like, divide us, but we're not.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
You know
I
what?
think we've healed.
Yes.
I think we've done some healing
It
today.
was like Jodie Foster in Contact. Just up there.
Katy Perry kissed the ground when she came back. And somebody tweeted, and I can't steal it. I kissed the ground and I liked it. That was.
Was that a joke over the song? Yeah. No, I mean, on Elevator News, it said, baby, you're a firework. I'm like,
There's so many choices.
too easy.
So many choices. Anyway, congrats to them.
Congrats,
I'm not
congrats.
interested in space. I don't want to go. I feel like we have the technology to create a weightlessness experience here, and I'll just enjoy it here
All right.
if I have to pay for that at some point.
Mary Catherine, we got
but
our
congrats
next one here.
nonetheless.
Congrats nonetheless.
Oh, by the way, there was another viral fumble as you open the, what is this?
This
the
is going to
Breyers
be
cookies and
Peeps
cream?
Marshmallow Breyers Cookies and Cream.
There was another embarrassing on-camera fumble this week when J.D. Vance was at the White House welcoming the Ohio State University football team.
The Buckeyes.
For its national championship ceremony. Okay, cookies and cream. This one is just white with chocolate speckles on it.
Yes.
He was greeting everybody there, and at one point the trophy was handed to him, and it fell into 2 parts. I don't think it made it quite to the ground, right? Did it make it? I
the
think
base fell, I think. The base actually fell because it's, you know, it's the weight is off, right?
Right,
So it's
right.
going to have a very heavy base, and once that breaks apart,
Well, why is it breaking apart? Is my
that's
question.
a good question. So J.D. Vance, the vice president, did
Are
not
we
break
gonna
the
find
trophy.
out it was made in China?
Yes, I guarantee you.
We gotta tariff that son bitch back home.
I guarantee you.
That's
that
what we gotta
I guarantee
do.
you it was made in China. It's the way people used to say in the old days, made in Japan was bad before it got good.
Before it got really good.
Yeah, really good. And still is. That made in China has become that thing.
Yeah, so he and a football player, and I don't know the name of the football player. Oh, yeah, the base
tried.
did fall. The upper part was saved. Vance didn't have the hands to get that base back in his arms. However, I will say that he retweeted the video, and this was a decent save,
Yes.
and said, I just didn't want anyone else to have it after Ohio State, so I broke it.
Good.
Which is like
Good answer. Good.
a decent
that's
way to deal with
It's the
that.
best you can do.
It's about the best you can
Best
do.
you can do.
But that thing shouldn't be falling apart.
No.
And I would say that if it was Obama, I would still make fun of him.
Somebody should have checked.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're going to try cookies and cream.
If I didn't tell you it was cookies and cream, would you know it's cookies and cream?
No. No.
You know what I tell you? It's marshmallow. That's what I tell you.
You know what I do like, even though I don't like a peep? I like a
Unremarkable.
roasted marshmallow, just by itself. I don't like s'mores. That's too much for me.
You
But
know,
I-
it's too. What do you mean? It's too much for you?
It's too much sweetness. Graham cracker.
But you got crunch in there. You got the from the
It's
granola
so one note. It's like
and melted
all-
chocolate.
it's all sweet. I don't want all sweet. I guess there is a little, there's a little bitterness added with the roasting of the marshmallow. But
Depends
when I
on
roast
your-
a marshmallow, I just catch it on fire.
I was gonna say
It's caught on fire.
You eat it
And
black.
I make sure the fire gets all
Yeah.
the way around it. And so when my children mess theirs up, they're like, "Here, Mom, you can have this." That's how I like to eat them.
All right, I got now. Here's the other thing we've been waiting for. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Researchers at the University of British Columbia have come up with the perfect day.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
All right. Well, here's the. They don't count sleep, by the way. So if you want to throw in the 8 hours, we all know 8 hours.
I do think
is
that's
the
an important
best.
part. Yeah.
Let's assume sleep is okay. Ready?
Okay.
6 hours with family.
Okay.
2 hours with friends. Our producer Colin Chicoli had a It looked like, I think he was just sucking on a lemon. That's all.
I think all of us are wondering what kind of hours are we talking
Okay,
here?
right, yeah.
Right.
6 hours with family, sleeping, I assume.
Yeah.
6 hours with family, 2 hours with friends, 1.5 hours socializing. This is absurd. This is a very Michelle Obama thing. 2 hours exercising.
Oh, come on.
Just think about 2 hours of this, okay? Yeah, that's my exercising. I'm on one of those old bikes that move back and forth.
A recumbent.
You know, this one like this, like the one in 16 Candles, you know, when the...
I'm in one of those contraptions where you just have a strap around your waist.
Oh, it moves around. Yes, that one works too. You don't do any work. You don't do work. It just like literally whips you into shape. Yes,
shaking the
it whips you
calories
into
off.
shape. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is absurd. 1 hour's eating and drinking. 6 hours work, like that one. And 1 hour screen time. Mary Katharine, what do you think about that?
Now, is this just like in the realm of the possible? They didn't seem like they were dreaming very big here.
No, this is based on some sort of American survey that was taken, and so they got all these numbers together.
I'm
and came
interested
up
in
with
the
numbers.
2 hour. We're doing 2 hours with friends, but another hour or so socializing. What we could just
how is
I feel
that
like
different?
we could put all that together.
I'm really concerned about the 1 hour. What do they say here? The 1 hour of eating and drinking. It takes me 1 hour just to eat.
No, 1 hour is not enough.
No.
On a perfect day, you
3
want to be
hours.
enjoying
5
your
hours.
meal, and half an hour per meal, if you're doing only 2 meals, is not enough.
No, and what are you eating alone?
Yeah.
You know, how about eating with family?
I
Would
need
that
at
count?
least 7 to 12 minutes for my coffee.
How about the screen time? Would you be able to handle that?
I think that would be very good for everyone.
Okay.
Could
you do it?
No. If I adhered to the screen time rules that I make my children adhere to, I would be a much better person. I'd be smarter. I'd be more patient. I would get more work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all with Jonathan Haidt on this and about the anxious generation.
But like not for us, obviously.
Well, that's the problem, because it's like, kids don't bother me right now. I'm on the phone. I'm reading something here at the table, which is so rude. But it's news is what we're doing.
I know. That's
And
part of it.
I try to bring this up sometimes with the olds, not meaning me, but like, you know, if I'm talking to my mother-in-law or something about phones, I said, picture, you know, reading the paper at the table. Also very annoying in the olden days, right? Like the father would always be seen reading
just
the paper.
sitting behind the paper.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as a phone. All right.
I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're not like moving things around on the phone, on the paper rather. Okay.
The best is when you pick up a magazine when it's been a while and you try to make the pictures bigger and you're like, oh, oops. Oops.
We're down to the last peep.
Nice.
This is the Dr. Pepper. The brand tie-ins are very impressive with Peeps. And again, it's the Just Born company in Bethlehem. Dr. Pepper Peeps. And our producer's producer, shall we say, Colin Chicola, warned me that once you open it, actually, I smell it right now. And, it's an interesting color. It looks like it's as if you poured Dr. Pepper on top of
I
a
think they
Peep.
nailed the color on this one.
Okay, so the color is...
It's like a rusty red.
Yes.
Yeah. A maroon. A brick red,
All right,
maybe.
here we go. Ready?
Oh, it smells just like Dr. Pepper. Oh, wow. I want this one to be good. Don't tell me yet.
It's not bad.
Oh, I like it. I have found a Peep I like. Oh, that's delicious.
It's really good.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. You know, Mary Catherine is now in her 6th can cocktail right now. If you know
No,
about
I
this.
am being lifted by this wingless bird.
Like you're
That's
on
what's
Blue
happening.
Origins.
Exactly. But everything will survive.
You get shot into the stratosphere.
I really like that. It's still too sweet for me, but they infused the flavor properly in that one.
Now, I need to go back and do a couple of other tastings before we arrange it. Before
man,
we
that's
do
good.
that, you wanted
We
to
have-
talk about the Masters?
Yes, I have a couple. I have
Please.
2 more topics
Oh,
I want to hit.
Exciting.
One is just general Easter plans. But first, the Masters, because wow, what a beautiful and historic
Amazing.
tournament. I love to watch golf, but I don't always remember to watch golf. Particularly the Masters, I have a lot of memories watching with my parents when I was a kid. We are a Southern family. My dad grew up in Augusta, actually quite close to
Wow.
the golf course. And, I grew up watching all these legends play. I used to have a crush on Freddie Couples and Nick Faldo.
Fred Couples.
Fred Couples,
He's
yes.
still around.
He's
great.
So,
Yeah,
so
Fred's
cute,
great.
by the way. So I like to watch golf. I don't play golf because when I had time to play golf, I had no money, and then I had children, and I had money to play golf, but I had no time.
I can play golf, but people would say if they looked at me that I don't play golf.
Not in this outfit.
Oh, hey,
Very
that's
Masters
true.
ready.
This is very
Masters ready. So I remember watching a lot as a kid. There was always sweet tea in our fridge. There's always pimento cheese at our house. There's a 5 generations old Georgia recipe that my family uses. And I made some this weekend to have at the house for watching the Masters. Wow. And it's just so beautiful and relaxing.
And it was a real nail biter.
Tension.
Yeah, it was ratings gold.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I love a playoff.
Yeah, Rory McIlroy. I think it's the first person from Northern Ireland or even from the island in general, I think, to win the Masters.
And he has a great story because he came from working class. His parents took on a bunch of extra jobs to help him do this. He watched Tiger Woods rise and then became, a contemporary of his or what is the word I'm looking for?
Protege?
Colleague. I don't know what it is. Anyway.
Yes.
Have some more cocktails, guys.
Really,
anyway.
You should. It was great because it was also he got through a real dry spell of not winning anything, and yet here he is completing a lifetime Grand Slam of having won all the majors.
Crazy.
And he almost didn't because he was up. I think he was up 5 until he got to the back 9, and then he started to double bogey a few holes, leading to a playoff with Justin Rose.
Yes.
And managed to come back.
Who played great. Justin Rose was like slow and steady the whole time. You were watching
we would have been
like,
happy, but you get the feeling that everybody wanted Rory.
Well, I was a little torn because I thought Justin Rose was like, consistently playing well. He was playing well on that day, which I worried for Rory when they got to the playoff. But anyway, also, it's golf, so like Rose is so gracious, and Rose's wife is like, "Congratulations, Rory! We're so happy for you."
Right.
I just think the whole thing is lovely. It's also nice, as someone pointed out, to watch a bunch of people watch a spectator sport without their phones.
I was wondering about that because we've all been in this position where I got to record it for posterity, and you are at that moment, not in the moment.
Yeah.
And
I got news for you. It's being recorded. So
that also it reminds me of. It's not being recorded, but one time I was at St. Peter's Basilica, and you have where St. Pope John Paul II is buried. All these people are coming there, pray, intentions, the whole deal. And then this woman comes up right to the kneeler, takes out her phone, and is not taking a picture.
No,
She's
ma'am.
doing a video. What is the video of? And do you think you're going to look back and say, I got to look at this video
I got a great video.
His sarcophagus.
No, it gives me a warm feeling. Love to watch the Masters. It was an emotional moment for him. Also, among the people recording that moment was Ken Griffey Jr., who was a credentialed sports photographer for the Masters, and he got a ton of beautiful shots during the Masters.
This is something that he does on the side? He's a shutterbug?
One of the things I like about elite athletes is sometimes you find out that they're elite athletes because they have a system for being real good at stuff, and when they're done being elite athletes,
it's transferable.
They just transfer it to something else.
Yeah. No, this was Michael Jordan's fixation on golf.
Yes. He got some incredible shots of McIlroy, so that was cool to see as well. So anyway,
wonderful.
All the history, all the fun. I've never been, which I went to the University of Georgia, so it was a real status symbol to walk around with your Masters gear or tell everybody that you were going to the Masters.
I've never been to a golf tournament. I've been to the U.S. Open tennis tournament, but not the golf.
Can I say that I'm a dum-dum because I never learned to play golf? Even though for a brief period of my childhood when I could have learned, my parents did have a country club membership and I could have just gone up there and learned, and I didn't do that. I was like in my emo phase, like a little punk, and I couldn't,
you were like rebelling
be
against the golf thing.
I couldn't be seen in Madras, so I didn't go up and learn. And then years later, after I graduated from college, I worked in Rockingham, North Carolina, which is 20 minutes from Pinehurst.
Oh my goodness.
In Southern Pines.
Yes.
And the high school golf team played at Pinehurst. The one that I covered, the high school golf team that I covered, played at Pinehurst. So had I been able to play, I probably could have gotten my way in there. But no.
I once played at the University of Maryland golf course, which is open to the public. But I was going to say it was at another course where it was not University of Maryland, excuse me. It was the Virginia Tech golf team.
Okay.
I was in a foursome. They're behind. We get paired up with a dad and his son. The son maybe is 11 or 12, so he's a kid. Beautiful swing. At the tee box, or
Right.
he tees off. The whole Virginia Tech team's clapping. Oh, awesome shot, kid. I had to follow that.
Oh, no.
And already it's in my mind
Mm-hmm.
that they're waiting because they want to move forward. And I'm already tightening up.
See,
I'm playing with
okay.
Carolyn Wimmer, who was Bill Crystal's executive
This, by
assistant.
the way, is like my problem with golf.
Yeah,
is that I'm going to have to learn and I'm going to be bad and then I'm going to have all this social pressure.
I've had some embarrassing moments in my life, but this is like top 5, top
Okay.
3 maybe. And sure enough, I'm getting ready with my driver. Yeah, it's like a par 4. I swing and I chunk that thing into the ground. And I heard the kid go, "Oh, he moved his neck." I'm like, "Yeah, no S." Of course I did. And there's silence coming from the the silence is deafening.
Everyone's trying to be
And
polite.
I'm looking, and then I think I whiffed the second one, or I sculled it. And I looked at Carolyn, and I'm like, "Is there any way I can get out of here? Like, just disappear myself?"
Yeah.
Like, whew. So,
Elon has not invented that yet.
no, hopefully soon. Mary Catherine, what is your thoughts ranking your peeps?
Ranking my peeps. Okay. One, I just want to put this out there because I should do more research, but who cares? It's a special episode.
special
I've had a
episode.
cocktail.
No.
But I do think there's some truth to this. I was seeing a report that the way they started the Masters and the way it became so prestigious was partly because there were sports writers going from spring training up the seaboard to their northern offices, and it gave them this place to stop off and get a story before they go back up north. And if that is the case, that is some fantastic marketing.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway,
You every now and then on the show, you learn something.
I you know what? Fact check it. Anyway, so we were talking about our ranking. Let's see. Well, the only one that's gone is the Dr. Pepper.
You
So,
liked it so much, so I assume that's number 1.
for me, yes. Not to break the tension too fast, but what about you?
I think
you can start from the bottom.
number 1, the bottom.
Start from the bottom, and I will either concur.
I think that
or
cookies
disagree.
and cream was at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Because it doesn't taste like anything. The second from the bottom is this dirty yellow white shoe. I'm not
That's
sure.
the Rice Krispies.
Oh, is that Rice Krispie? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Second from the bottom.
It's actually not yellow white shoe flavored.
Third is cake. Party cake. The
Party cake.
retirement party cake. Okay. In the middle now. The traditional peep.
Okay, so you're ranking that one too. Okay, gotcha.
I put it in the middle.
Okay.
Then comes Dr. Pepper. Then the chocolate.
Oh, wow.
And then the pink one.
Okay.
What's the pink one?
The cotton
Cotton
candy.
candy. Yeah.
So I would put slightly different. My bottom 3 are the same.
Oh,
And then I would do chocolate. It was a little overpowering for me.
I need that right
That one
now.
actually did get the flavor in there. Those bottom 3, no flavor.
Yeah.
The chocolate, I don't think I liked the flavor that much. Regular Peep, because, hey, it's a classic. Cotton candy, it tasted pretty good, and it's just really cute. The color scheme is great. This is a decoration you want in your home on a table.
Okay, so that's your second best. Okay,
and
so
then
we're close.
Dr. Pepper's number 1.
Very okay. So some similarities in there.
But yeah, I can't recommend this more for a baby shower scenario. The cotton candy Peep. So stock up now. So those are my rankings. Oh, one more thing about the Masters.
Please.
There's a meme now
Oh.
of Scotty Scheffler, and everybody's calling it Scotty Scheffler in the bushes
Why?
because it was in the second day of the tournament, and he hits it in the pine straw off the fairway, and he sits inside under a plant, and they called it inside the bushes, and that became the name of the meme. And I said, au contraire, that is a magnolia tree. Okay, that is not a bush.
Bush.
That is not bushes. That is a magnificent,
Yeah.
probably 100-year-old magnolia tree on the most manicured acreage in the entire earth.
Yeah.
And that magnolia tree, if it could talk, would be like, these MFers are calling me a bush?
If the tree.
I am not a bush. There he is. He's hiding.
Ah, no, that's
He's just contemplating life,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what he's going to do next. We've all been there, but the magnolia tree is how you want to refer to that.
Thank you for that.
It's
a correction.
I mean, honestly, I think like if you're calling the masters, you need to know that.
Yeah.
You need to know that. Every Southerner is like, that's not a bush. Not a bush. I used to have, there's a magnolia tree outside my parents' house, by the way, that is magnificent. It is larger than the house. And when I was a kid, as he's sitting under there, it's like a whole clubhouse under there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's just like, you can go under there and play games and hide from each other. There's a bunch of low-hanging branches that you can climb the tree with. It's great tree climbing trees. And most importantly, you could lay on the lower branches and read a book.
Wow.
It was so beautiful. It was a good part of my childhood.
I'd be worried about the bugs.
Nah, it's the South. I mean, you can't get rid of the bugs wherever you are. I would actually say there's fewer under the magnolia tree because the gnats aren't there because you're in they're in the
ones
shade.
that are in your face.
Smells great under there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Okay.
I recommend it if you ever get a chance. Go hide in the bushes like Scotty Scheffler. And then lastly, before we finish up, look at us. We're giving a full episode here.
Full. We give it our all. Why am I like sweating and dizzy? Is it the diabetes now? Is that what's happening? Why is my foot on fire?
My last question is simply, what is your plan for Easter and or your Easter ensembles for your family, which you're
all right. Well, I hope
you might
nobody
not have
notices that I'm wearing this because I might, bring this back out on Sunday or
a little more of this
a variation. I have a nice blue shirt, but I cannot do the blue shirt and the blue blazer at the same time. So it might be this. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as some listeners of the show and previous shows know, my brother-in-law, Captain Bill Dwyer, they do Easter at their place every year out in Winchester. So we're going to go there.
Nice.
How about you?
Very nice. I do not have the whole family tableau planned yet. Okay. And maybe that's one of those things that once you have 4 kids, some years you nail it and some years you don't.
You know what you should do? Because you still have time. Why don't you call one of the big restaurants for Easter brunch? They might have an opening.
Yeah, sure. We don't have to worry about our plan.
I mean, for 2026.
Yeah. But so I don't have the clothing planned. I have it for a couple of kids. I have suspenders for my son, so we'll work on getting his full outfit.
Oh yeah,
but I do have suspenders.
You do ensemble.
Because I only have one son, so I gotta do something very specific.
One of those little boat hats.
As I said, I want him to look like he's going to the Masters.
Yeah.
That's. I want him to look like he founded Augusta National.
You could get he could like a mini version of this outfit, really.
And get him a little green
Actually,
blazer.
it's not even that mini. I'm sure we have the same size now by this time.
He is pretty big.
Yeah, I know, he's a big boy.
So I got to work on that. I do not have a dress for myself, but we will have a lovely time. And I'm going to try not to sweat it too much. But one of my girls does not yet have a dress for this occasion, so I gotta get on it.
All right.
So that's what I'm up to next.
Wonderful.
And then we'll praise the Lord in whatever clothing we're in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Special thanks to, of course, the producer's producer, Colin Chicola.
Who brought us these Peeps.
He did all the work in bringing us these wonderful varieties. Yes,
you know what he did? Because
Peeps.
a lot of places sell out of Peeps right before Easter. And of course, I didn't plan this ahead of time and get the Peeps. So Colin availed himself of the Peeps tracker, which tells you where they're in stock.
That's amazing.
The internet has amazing things, including The Weekend Peeps, starring Mary Katharine Ham, 2007.
Check out that one. And that wraps up this special episode of Getting Hammered. Remember, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Victorina Mattis.
I'm at MK Hammer on X, at MK Hammer Time on Instagram. You can follow the show at Getting Hammered Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Got it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting hammered responsibly. I only had 1.5 cocktails. And that Peep is
a little more.
That Peep has survived.
Yeah.
All right. This has been Nebulous Media Podcast.